I mean, the English countryside. It's just fabulous, isn't it? And so incredibly beautiful. It's a shame though. I can't help but think something's really missing from it. According to the State of Nature Report 2023, England is the most biodiversity depleted country in the world. This shows rewilding is becoming increasingly more necessary for the UK. Rewilding, according to Rewilding Britain, is the large scale of restoration of ecosystems to a point where nature is allowed to take care of itself. This can even be done on a small scale, such as repurposing land no longer in use, or farmers giving a field back to nature. It's more than just trees. All vegetation is addressed, and possibly even the reintroduction of a species that were once extinct. Like beavers have now been successfully reintroduced in Dartmoor to help reduce flooding and its impacts. Or reintroducing a predator, such as wolves in Yellowstone National Park. They helped to control elk numbers and allowed vegetation species such as willows to recover. Furthermore, it meant the riverbanks had increased stability. In England, we could very well benefit from a larger predator in the UK, as currently our deer population is too high. There is a lot of research which provides evidence of the overall negative effect, even on rewilding itself. Rewilding is less successful in areas of high deer abundance, as they eat the vegetation being replanted. Deer need to eat, and being the bigger herbivores, they outcompete all smaller mammals, and in winter, many deer die, as there just isn't enough food to currently sustain their numbers. It is indeed quite inhumane, so why not control the numbers in a natural and sustainable way? So, why isn't the situation being dealt with as it should? Well, I think the reason why it isn't progressing is down to the theory of planned behaviour. The theory of planned behaviour is defined as a psychological framework that proposes the likelihood of an individual engaging in a behaviour is influenced by the intention to perform the behaviour, which is shaped by attitudes, subjective norms, and perceived behaviour control. As stated in Ajzen's 1991, The Theory of Planned Behaviour, the three parts need to be ticked, shall we say, before a person/people perform said behaviour. Allow me to take you through those parts now. So think of the attitudes overall are negative towards predators being in the UK. As a nation, we are highly fearful towards a reintroduction. We worry about what harm may be caused. Now think of the subjective norm here. In the UK, we are no longer accustomed to living to any predator larger than a badger. So finally, thinking of the perceived behavioural norms, as a nation, we are convinced that we don't have the money or resources, and as shown in previously mentioned studies, we are just not convinced it will work. Therefore, in this particular case, I think we need to prioritise the perceived behavioural norms, as it proves to be the most influential factor of the theory of planned behaviour. We would address this by educating people further and addressing potential fears and negative attitudes towards a predator being back in the UK. Furthermore, with the help of presenting successful reintroductions, like the one in Yellowstone, the people might just be convinced that a predator should be back in the UK for the increased progression of rewilding. Thank you for listening to me today.